Imagine being able to show a bill front and back and have it magically change places with another bill clutched tightly in a spectator's fist. Now, imagine being able to hand out everything for examination. That is Cash Point. I've got two bills. I've got a 20 and a 1. We're going to try something neat with these bills. But first, we're going to fold them up, make them a little smaller, a little easier to manage. And once we've got that, we'll take one of these bills and we'll place it underneath someone's hand. But in this case, I don't have somebody's hand, so we're going to use my wallet in place of that. So we'll place the 20 underneath the wallet, leaving us with the 1. Now, if you watch very close, you'll see the 20 actually changes places with the 1. Just like that. And now both of these bills are completely examinable. As a bonus, I'll teach you different ways to change the bills to allow you to customize it to fit your performance style. This is Cash Point. Hey everybody, my name is Popa, and I want to thank you so much for purchasing Cash Point. This is an effect that I created alongside my friend Tyler Reed about 7 years ago. We actually created this over a Skype call, and since then we've been working on various iterations, and we're super excited to bring you the final version today. This version utilizes a borderless flap that was inspired by Patrick Kuhn's Extortion. Along with that, we've made various changes, and we reached out to Patrick, and he has been kind enough to give us his blessing to release this project. It also shares some similarities with Falsify by Justin Miller and Tyler Reed, utilizing, again, that borderless flap. So let's get into what you need and how to build the gimmick. I've got two bills. I've got a 20 and a 1. We're going to try something neat with these bills. But first, we're going to fold them up, make them a little smaller, a little easier to manage. And once we've got that, we'll take one of these bills and we'll place it underneath someone's hand. But in this case, I don't have somebody's hand, so we're going to use my wallet in place of that. So we'll place the 20 underneath the wallet, leaving us with the 1. Now, if you watch very close, you'll see the 20 actually changes places with the 1. Just like that. And now both of these bills are completely examinable. So, the gimmick utilizes a borderless flap, as you can see here, and it also detaches like so. So what you have is a 1 where you cut off the border and it is cut down the middle. And then on the back you have a piece of a 5 that is cut out and glued to that 1. It's folded in half, and on this side you have some zig 2-way repositionable glue that you place on there, which will allow you to stick it to any bill, provided the gimmick matches the denomination. And then you are ready to perform with the gimmick. So let's learn how to make this gimmick. So what you need to make the gimmick are 2 different denomination bills. I'm going to be using a 1 and a 20. But as you saw, you can use a 1 and a 5. You can use a 50, 100. The only bill that doesn't really work well is a $10 bill because it has a slightly orangish tint that doesn't match the other bills. But with that being said, any other bill would work fine. So once you have your 2 bills, you'll also need some rubber cement some repositionable glue. I like to use the Zig two-way glue. I find it has a strong hold, but not strong enough to keep it really stuck. It pulls off nice and easily. You'll also need either an X-Acto knife and a straight edge, or a pair of scissors. Either or will work. In this case, I will be primarily using the X-Acto knife and the ruler. So, once you have all of your materials, you're ready to begin. So you're going to want to start off with your 1. You're going to fold it in half. And make sure you get a good crease, because you're going to want to use this as your guide to cut along. Now once you have that, you're going to take your ruler and line it up with the center. Take your X-Acto blade, and once you've got it all lined up, you're going to cut the bill in half. Now you're going to, if you are making the bill with, if you're making it right-handed, you're going to use the right side of the 1. If you are left-handed, you're going to use the left side of the 1. That's based on where you need to hold so that the bill is facing upright. So I'm going to be using the right side of the bill. And next, what you want to do is cut out the border. Now, on a $1 bill, you'll notice that there is a very fine black line around there. You want to make sure you cut on the outside to include that black line. So take your ruler, line that up with the black line, and go ahead and cut the border. Oops. Make sure it gets nice and clean cuts. There we go. And continue on this edge. Line it up. And you want to make this as straight as possible. So one more edge. And you can throw away your scraps. And now you're left with the inside portion of a $1 bill. And now you're going to take this piece and fold it in half. Make sure you give it a nice, firm crease. So you can set that off to the side for now. And now we're going to get your 20 or other denomination bill. And you're going to do the same thing. You're going to cut the bill in half. So we'll fold it in half, get that nice firm crease. line it up with the center. Take your X-Acto knife and cut the 20 down the middle. Now, if you used the right, you're going to use the right side of the bill if you use the right side of the 1. If you use the left side, you'll use the left side. So you can set your opposite piece aside, and you're going to take your other piece and cut off the borders. So we'll do that now. One. There's 2. And the third one. Just like that. Now, you want to take this, fold it in half, and again, give it a nice crease. And you want to cut this bill in half again. So you're going to line it up with the ruler. Make sure it is nice and lined up. Let's see here, let's get a nice, better crease than that. There we go. All right, once you have it lined up there, you want to cut the bill. Now you want to take the pieces and you want to apply some rubber cement to this side of the 1 and this side of the 20, the back side of the 1 and the 20 there. So I'm going to apply that now. And the trick when applying rubber cement is you want to apply it all in the same direction, and you want to make sure you let it dry before sticking the 2 layers together. That will help improve the bond. Get the 1. So let those dry. And then once those dry, you want to line these up as close as you can and stick them together. And one nice thing about rubber cement is it is pretty forgiving, so as long as you don't press too hard to start off, you can kind of restart if it's not aligned perfectly. There we go. And now, the last thing you need to do is apply some two-way glue, some of the Zig repositionable glue. So if you're using the Zig, I like to use a border around and then an X. If you're using any other repositionable glue stick, you can cover the entire face, but in this case, it can be a little too strong if you cover the entire face. So we're just going to do a line there. There. And there. And then once you've done all of the edges, again, you want to do a little X. And then you want to let this stuff dry. And once that dries, you now have your cash point gimmick. And you can apply this to any $20 bill, and if you make it with a $5, any $5 bill, and so on. So let's get into how to use the gimmick. So here's the basic handling for cash point. You want to place your gimmick onto your 20 by folding your 20 in half and line it up along the edge of the bill, and then stick it down nice and firm. And then you will open up the flap, and you're ready to go. If you want, you can also fold this back over like this, and you can just kind of cover the 20 part. That way you can show front and back, or at least the illusion of showing the bill front and back. And you'll open up the bill, and by holding the bill at the edge, when you shake the bill, you'll notice the flap comes released. You don't have to do anything. All you have to do is hold it at the edge, and it releases itself. So, using your other hand, you're going to catch the flap. I like to give them a brief moment to see the bill has changed, but because you do have this line in the middle, you don't want to keep it there for too long, so I will then grab it and show the other side, and then you can open up the bill, and you want to make sure there's no light behind you, or else they will be able to see through and see that there's a thicker section right here on the bill. So make sure of that. But you can show the bill front and back, and then to steal the gimmick, you are going to flick over and peel it with your thumb. So that's stuck there, and as you're showing the bill, it looks like you're just flicking the bill like that, but you're going to peel it off with your thumb, pull it back, and then place the bill down or hand it to a spectator, and it can be examined, and this you can either stick to the back of your pants, kind of like stuck to your wallet, or you can just stick it in your back pocket, whatever is easiest for you. That is the basic handling for cash point. Now let's learn how to use it in a routine. So here is how to do the transposition effect using the cash point gimmick. What you're going to need is a 20 with your gimmick on it, and then a 1 that would match your gimmick. So once you have those, you will place your gimmick on your 20, and have it in the closed position. This way you can start off by showing the 20 all the way around very cleanly. And this 1 can also be borrowed if you wanted. So you can borrow a 1. So you show the bills front and back, and you'll hand the 1 to a spectator, and they will fold the bill just as you do, folding it in half, and then in half again. But what you're going to do is fold it a little over half. You're actually going to fold it along where the flap goes. So you'll see you'll have a little bit of an overhang there. That's okay. But you'll fold it up, and then you will open the flap and flick it out into your hand there. And from the front, they can still see 20. And this bill would be folded up the same. So from here, you can show a 20 and a 1, keeping the flap hidden by your fingers. You're going to place the 1 behind the 20, close the flap with your thumb as you rotate the bills, covering with your fingers, and you ask the spectator to hold their hand out. Now you're going to place the 1, the actual 1, onto the table or into their hands, and ask them to place their hand on top. I'll set that aside for now. This leaves you with the 1, or with the 20, with the 1 facing out. So, by covering that 20 overhang, you can show you have the 1. And then you turn it over and open the bill. Now, all you got to do is the change, and you can show the 20 has now changed positions with the 1, and when they lift off their hand, they'll see they have the 1. And again, you can steal that gimmick off, and everything is examinable. So here are some alternative changes that you can do using the cash point gimmick. So the standard change, as you've learned, is by holding the edge and shaking the bill to allow the flap to release and fold over. But another change you can do is holding the flap facing down towards the ground, and you will pinch towards the bottom and then rotate the bill around. And as you do, you use your thumb to fold the flap down and continue the rotation. So from the front at speed, it looks like this. And it kind of looks like it morphs as you're turning the bill over. And the second change looks like a wave. It looks something like this. And then you can show the bill. And that works by taking the gimmick, pivot with your middle and thumb, and then release pressure here, and use your fingers to fold the flap down, and then grab it with your fingers here. So that looks like that. And then you turn it over, show the bill. So those are just a few alternative changes that you can do with the cash point gimmick. So just a little tip with your gimmick. If you like to do the ditch method where you stick it to the back of your pants, you may notice that the glue is going to get less sticky over time. And just by nature, it will start to get less sticky the more times you unstick it from the bill. So what you're going to want to do is, as it starts to lose its adhesive, reapply along those lines. You don't have to worry about cleaning it off at all because this side is never seen by the audience anyway. So just trace back over those lines with your glue, let it dry, and you should be good to go. So that's just a little bit of extra tips for handling your gimmick. So once again, Tyler and I want to thank you so much for purchasing Cash Point. If you liked it, please be sure to leave a review. It helps other magicians find really awesome magic. And with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.